If you were born June 11th to June 20th, you are Gemini Decan 3, and you don't just leave relationships, you erase them. Not ghosting, not blocking, total system purge. While Decan 1 spirals in guilt, and Decan 2 plans strategic exits, you do something more terrifying. You make people invisible. You delete their existence from your mental hard drive. Today, we're decoding the three-phase protocol that makes Decan 3 the most dangerous sign to betray. Because when you're done, it's like they never existed. To understand Decan 3, you need to understand how they process betrayal differently than any other sign. Decan 1 processes betrayal emotionally. They spiral. They guilt-trip themselves. Decan 2 processes it strategically. They build evidence. They plan extraction. But Decan 3? You process betrayal like a system crash. Your Mercury-ruled mind treats toxic relationships like corrupted files. You don't get angry at the person who hurt you. You get angry at yourself for granting them access to your system in the first place. This is what I call the hard drive wipe. When betrayal happens, your brain doesn't register heartbreak. It registers error 404, person not found. Your emotional operating system doesn't repair the connection. It formats the entire drive. You don't heal from betrayal. You delete it. And everyone attached to it gets wiped in the process. Here's the trap everyone falls into with Decan 3. The polarity illusion. People think you're moody. They think you're unpredictable. They say you go from loving to cold overnight. But that's not what's happening. You're not flipping a switch randomly. You're responding to a threat detection system they can't see. The moment a Decan 3 detects betrayal, disrespect, or incompatibility, their entire perception shifts. You're not experiencing a mood swing. You're experiencing a polarity flip. One day, they're your soulmate. The next day, you're a stranger. There's no middle ground because to Decan 3, you either belong in their system or you don't. And once you're reclassified as a threat, the connection doesn't fade slowly. It terminates instantly, like unplugging a device mid-charge. Let's decode the three phases of Decan 3's system purge. Phase 1, the silent disconnect. This is the phase that confuses everyone. Unlike Decan 2's strategic cooldown where they still engage, Decan 3 goes radio silent immediately. You stop initiating conversations. You stop asking questions. You're physically present, but emotionally unreachable. Partners think, maybe they're stressed. Maybe they need space. What they don't realize? You've already classified them as expendable data. You're not withdrawing to think. You're already executing the disconnect protocol. This phase looks passive, but it's actually the most active. You're mentally cataloging every moment you need to erase, every inside joke, every shared memory, every photo. You're not saving the relationship, you're preparing for the purge. Phase 2, the identity reboot. This is where Decan 3 separates from every other sign. You don't just leave the person, you leave the version of yourself that existed with them. Betrayal triggers what I call the identity glitch. You look in the mirror and don't recognize who you became in that relationship. So you physically reboot your entire identity. You cut your hair. You redecorate your space. You change your wardrobe. You apply for new jobs. You move cities. To outsiders, this looks impulsive or dramatic. But to Decan 3, this is survival. You're not running away. You're reformatting. You tell yourself, that person I was, that was a corrupted version. This is the upgrade. You paint over the past to create a clean slate. And anyone associated with the old version gets painted over too. Phase 3, the ghost protocol. This is the phase that haunts people forever because it's not ghosting. Ghosting implies you might come back. Decan 3 doesn't ghost, you delete. No closure conversation. No goodbye text. No explanation. Just nothing. You delete their contact. You unfollow them everywhere. You block mutual friends, who might mention them. You turn them into a ghost in your reality. This isn't cruelty, it's a survival mechanism. Your Mercury mind can't heal while constantly being reminded of the corruption. So you perform a total data purge. You don't leave the door open. You brick up the entire entrance. The terrifying part? You don't feel guilty about it. You feel relief, like finally uninstalling malware that was slowing down your entire system. And when people ask, what happened to them? You genuinely answer, who? The world calls you cold, emotionally unavailable, commitment-phobic, but they don't understand the operating system you're running. Decan 3's Purge protocol is powerful because it protects you from prolonged pain. You don't waste years trying to fix broken people. You don't drain yourself giving second chances to those who proved they don't deserve them. You cut the loss immediately and move forward. But this power comes with a cost: pattern blindness. By erasing people so completely, you sometimes erase the lessons they were meant to teach you. You delete the person, but you keep the broken selection algorithm. So you end up attracting the same type, just with a different face. The second cost? Isolation. Each purge makes you harder to reach. Each reboot builds thicker walls. You become so efficient at deleting people that eventually you're operating in a system where no one gets close enough to even be a threat. The question isn't whether your purge protocol works. It does. The question is, are you deleting people, or are you deleting the possibility of real connection? Decan 3, your system purge is your superpower. But don't confuse deleting people with deleting patterns. The real upgrade isn't finding someone new, it's debugging the selection process that keeps attracting corrupted files. If this decoded your erasure protocol, drop your Decan 3 birthday below and comment rebooted. If this explained why someone vanished on you, you now understand. You weren't dealing with a ghoster. You were dealing with someone reformatting their entire reality. Watch the full Decan trilogy to understand all 3 Gemini operating systems. And remember, your ability to purge isn't a flaw, it's your edge. Just make sure you're upgrading the system, not just changing the wallpaper.